black. The equinox is over. The balance of light and dark has shifted. Even the veil between worlds grows thin. What fiendish things slouches forth to meet you? It's the Weebleed Orange and Black 2022 Halloween Spooktacular.
It is now time to reopen the 6 demon bag. It's Candy and Goofs.
This bag feels moist.
I'm Elliot Moist Bag McMillan.
I'm Be Jeffrayed. Be very Jeffrayed.
I've been going with Evil Ed Murderlack again.
Ryan, more scary things, such as, for example, a skull.
Drew Carey prom date? Or was Carrie the movie taking place at homecoming?
No, it was the prom.
Yeah.
I thought you were about Drew Carey.
I am Drew. Carrie's prom date.
All right, Ryan, what's your spooky name?
Rotten Balls Ryan. I got an ass load of Nick and Libs. Should I divide them up amongst the...
Nick and Libs? What are those?
The bottles, the wax bottle with juice inside. And the topic is Trick or Erd-a-lag.
Oh,
What the...
shit.
Got my name on it. What does this mean?
I picked up a little special something for you.
What's this?
All right, open that bag, that side bag, and tell us what we got.
Oh, nice! Crickets! Look at that! Crickets and worms.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
So,
Finally righting a wrong
Sour
of
cream and
yesteryear.
onion.
I was in Canada early October, and so I was still shopping for the Spooktacular, and we went to a candy shop, and I found some barbecue maggots and some sour cream and onion crickets, and I knew I had to get them for Ed. But then when we came back through customs, they're like, do you have any animals? Do you have any meat? Do you have any food? And I was like, no.
There's enough of these to pass around.
I'll eat whatever you're eating.
Down the hatch.
All right.
Like a chicharron.
Is that a whatchamacallit?
I don't know.
Oh my god, is it really a whatchamacallit?
Holy
Holy crap.
Oh, that was my favorite.
Me too, yeah, good
I
stuff.
have never had a whatchamacallit.
Full-size bars.
One right
Yeah,
now.
you're in for a treat. Those are good.
Intermittent Horror. The vampire that only needs to feed once every 50 years.
All right, a little bit of background. So when we were doing Put Up Your Spooks edition, we were watching an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, and it had this really awesome, terrifying vampire in it. And then they went out of their way to specify that this vampire only feeds once every 50 years. And I was like, why'd they put that in there? It's less scary. Like, drunk drivers are going to kill 10x people over the course of that 50 years than this vampire. It makes vampires less scary, or any monster less scary, if they only kill like once every few decades.
My argument was that it was still pretty scary for the people being killed on that particular night.
Because it's so infrequent, how unfortunate is their victim? If
Unfortunate.
If there's a vampire going around every night, right, you know this guy's going to Hollywood, he's going to get some chick drunk, he's going to take her back, drain her blood.
Wait, we're still
shoot
talking
him
about
dead.
vampires, right?
Yeah. Or he's going to go to Target and find some guy. You know that's going to happen every night. There's going to be...
Yeah, it's scarier.
But if there's a guy who every 50 years, how unfortunate are you to be in this place 50 years to the day that this guy has to feed?
Yeah, if you get struck by lightning, you're unlucky because it's a freak occurrence. But,
Yeah,
I'm
but
more
that's
scared
scary.
of
It's all
cars.
scary.
Well,
It's like, yeah, I'm not scared of that guy because I'm like, all right, I see he just ate yesterday, and I'll stay away from
Yeah,
him.
if he ate yesterday, then you can go the rest of your natural life with no fear. Whereas your normal, bog standard vampire feeds every night.
I know someone who tries to avoid eating meat, but whenever they get lightheaded or dizzy or weak, or if they're sick, you know, one of their family members will make them eat a steak. So they do eat meat, but they try not to.
And I would imagine that a vampire that kills every 50 years is someone that is morally conflicted. But at
Not scary.
Hot Zots. My topic is AVP, Candyman versus Samara from The Ring. Candyman doesn't watch TV.
Okay, what if someone watches the cursed tape? They're going to die in 7 days. So they go to the mirror and they say,
bodyguard.
Candyman, Candyman.
Be my bodyguard.
Yeah.
So it's like my bodyguard, but with Candyman?
Yeah.
He's not going to be your bodyguard. He's going to cut you up.
No, he's saying, wait till the last minute. Samara's coming at you. Run into the bathroom. Shut the door. She's stalking at you out of the TV. Candyman. She opens the door and there's Candyman standing in the way. So they get him to fight.
And you dive through the window?
Let them fight.
That's kind of a cool idea. Yeah.
So who would win?
Who would win?
I mean, Candyman's got that literal right hook.
Candyman is a spirit, so she can't really drive him insane, and that's what she does, right? Doesn't she kind of like scare the hell out of you and drive you insane?
Yeah, she scares people to death.
And then turns you into a big blue corpse with a gaping mouth.
Yeah.
What if you summon the Candyman from the television's reflection?
Yeah, you turn the TV off, and then in the reflection, you say, Candyman X5.
And then maybe they get sucked into the same dimension or something.
In the moment, it's a cool idea, but I think it would backfire. I think you just get killed twice.
I got a mouse.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it a terminal?
Nearby incidents. You move to a new place and you meet your neighbors. Later, somebody tells you, why, nobody's lived next door to you for 50 years. What practical steps would you take next?
I knock the wall down and make an addition because obviously nobody wants to live there. So I just got me a freaking
That is pretty practical.
So basically, you've been told that you've got ghosts next door to you. What would you do?
I always thought it would be cool to have like a friendly ghost
Casper
who would like kind of help you out. And I mean, you could, if there's things they need done that they can't do.
Don't finish their business or else they're going to go away. And then you get some douchebags that move in next to you.
Yeah.
Why has the property been empty for 50 years? Because the ghosts don't want anybody to live there and they're haunting anybody. They're driving people away and stuff?
And do they drive away your place?
Yeah, did they fuck up your place too?
No,
Did they lower
it
your
also
property
doesn't
value?
seem to be common knowledge that there are ghosts there.
As long as it's next door and not if it was me, I don't care.
Well, but like what Drew said, they make noise all night and, they're annoying. Yeah, and you're never going to get rid of them. They're never
It's
going to
just
move
like
on.
having bad neighbors.
Yeah, well, so what's the practical steps towards bad neighbors?
Move. Eat more. Never heard of it.
Canadian.
Nice.
It's a European brand.
This one is definitely melted. Freakphone. What 900 horror hotline would you like to see?
All right, do you guys remember that weird phenomenon of 900 numbers in the 80s?
It's the freak phone, and here's the party freak. Friday freaker, dancing new sensation, grabbing the nation, doing the freak. Call now, 1-900-490-FREAK.
I called Captain Lou Albano.
Oh, sweet. What'd he say?
He was fucking. He sounded like he was fucking drunk.
Sure he was.
All checks out.
All I remember is him singing a song, and it went Captain Lou, Albano.
So worth
Was
it.
that worth
And
the
it probably cost.
$70?
Yeah, it probably cost my parents like $75. I was gonna say.
Your dad's like, oh, damn it,
So,
Who's Captain Lou Albano?
and you explain who he is, and your dad's like, I'm okay with it.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but almost every horror property you can think of from the 80s had a 900 number.
Not Jason.
Yeah, but Jason doesn't talk, and neither does Michael Myers.
Yeah, you can't call those guys.
No, for Michael Myers, they had a Save Michael Myers Victims hotline. So when Halloween 5 came out, as like a promotion tie-in, they released this hotline where you could call, and there was a phone tree. There was like a choose-your-own-adventure, and you could try to guide a victim away from Michael Myers. Okay. But of course, the longer you keep the victim alive, the more expensive it is. So you're going to be like, fuck this guy.
If there was a Friday the 13th hotline where you could talk to one of the hot chicks, like, what's her name? Voorhees? Man, I'd call
Pamela
that.
Voorhees?
No, the chick. There's a chick in Friday the 13th Part 5, whose real name is Voorhees.
Yeah, the dark hair chick.
Yeah.
In the eyes.
She got the shears, yeah.
Yeah, I would call her.
She's gorgeous, yeah.
My favorite. Her and the one in part 2 with
The one with the pixie cut hair, yeah, she's beautiful.
So you just want a sex hot
basically, yeah.
Yeah. What if there was a Ghostbusters one?
There was.
Oh,
there
there
was.
I was going to say you could call and, like, describe your haunting, and they could give you advice.
Or if they could, like, classify what kind of specter
right.
or vapor.
I would call 1-900 Winston Zedmore and be like, hey, man, between us, how these white boys treating you? Are they paying you right? Are they paying you on time?
And he'd be like, obviously not. I've got a 1-900 number.
Do they have you like going in first and like, Winston, go in there and see what kind of ghost that is?
He was driving the car. I noticed that. Wasn't he driving the car?
Do you have like less charge in your proton pack than they do?
Nah.
Spiral colors? Colors spelled in the British manner. And it just looks like a rolled up dead worm or some shit.
It probably is.
Freaked. Weirdest unexplained thing you ever seen.
I was once walking around in Venice, and I had a camera phone, but it was a flip phone. So it was a very advanced camera, but this was a long time ago. So these digital cameras could not record well in low light at all. And I saw a spider on the windshield of a van, and it looked like the size of someone's hand wearing a white glove, crawling slowly across the windshield of this parked van. And I was like, no one is going to believe this. And I pulled out my flip phone, and I couldn't get any footage of it or any pictures of it because it was at night. It just all looked like a blur. And, like, to this day, I have no idea what it was I saw.
Oh, I thought you were going to kill it and take its carcass home for
I
proof,
was
as you are wont to do.
of it. No, it was the size of a hand.
Was it a coconut crab?
It could have been it could have been a malted coconut crab or something. Another thing I saw some burned candles. Black and red candles. And I was like, that's weird. And then I crossed the street, and I saw more black and red candles. And then I was like, this is weird. And then there was a cup of water, and there's another cup of water, and there's pennies. I was like, this is a crossroads. This is like voodoo.
Hey, man, go get them pennies. I ain't touching them pennies.
Nope. I had this little spider come alongside. I was in my back place. And
While
I
you're
was,
sitting on your tuffet?
Yeah, I was eating my curds and whey. And no, I was typing away and drank down some water and stuff. And this spider popped its head up over on my keyboard and everything. And it's about that big, maybe one of those jumping spiders, I was thinking. And I addressed him and I said, hey, you probably don't want to be in here, but I'm going to carry you outside. What do you say? And I took my cup and I took it below the table and I was like, I'm going to have you get down in this in a second, okay? And he jumped into the cup all on his own. And I carried him outside and I said, okay, I'm going to let you. I didn't cover it or anything. He's just down in there chilling and everything. And I set the cup down and I was like, okay, I'm going to let you out here. What do you think? And he got out of the cup and left. And I don't know. That's pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, very cool.
One night, very late at night, we were driving down Fairfax, and I think I told this story, looked like an old man riding a bike wearing lederhosen. We were in a car and he was on a bike and going the opposite way. My buddy Dre, I think he saw it too, and we were both a little bit...
You see it too.
We were both a little bit freaked out, what, was that an old white man riding a bicycle wearing lederhosen on Fairfax and Stocker at 3 o'clock in the morning?
That's when the Eli Wiesel and those guys aren't looking. I had an unexplained thing. So it was just a weird kind of dream that came true in a way, but in the end came to nothing. So I had this dream.
Spoiler.
So let's say the last part first and the first part last.
Cut that out.
It's not creepy. It's more bittersweet. So I had a dream, and in the dream I just randomly met this woman who had blonde hair and a German accent. I was like, wow, what an amazing woman. So then somebody invited me to this writers group meeting, and a person I had worked with before, and I went, and there's a beautiful blonde woman there, probably the most beautiful person I've ever met in person. And she had an accent, but she was Polish.
She was dumb. You could have pulled a fast one on her.
Shut up.
No, and I did not tell her that, but I contacted her afterwards. I was like, hey, we should meet for a drink or something. She's like, yeah, I'm going to New York. I'll contact you when I get back. And she didn't, so I kind of let it go. And then when I look on Instagram, she has like a boyfriend that looks like... I don't get into like, oh, you know, that guy, why is she with that guy? But,
Yeah.
I can show you this guy. He really does look like another version of me.
Well, that's good. I mean, that means you really had a shot. You took your shot. And
Yeah,
it didn't work out.
he's got like the cheeks, and he just has kind of like a more Weasley face than me. But
More Weasley than you.
yeah,
He must be an actual
Or Weasley.
so
He must be an actual Weasley.
That's the thing I said right there.
It's horrible, and I can't get over it. I can't get past it. Jesus, that was so messed up.
I'm sorry.
I still believe.
So I have a Hershey's bar.
And the topic?
Buckwylde All Hallows Tyde.
That's right. It's time for another history lesson, gents. When the Scottish and Irish brought Halloween to the States in the 1800s, it was all tricks, no treats. Common pranks involved stink bombs made from burning cabbage, putting farmers' livestock on their barn roofs, tipping over outhouses, removing manhole covers, and stealing so many fence gates that Halloween was also known as Gate Night, bombing people with bags of flour, setting fires, breaking windows, and slashing tires. Famous pranks include, in 1879, 200 boys put a fake body on train tracks in Kentucky. In 1900, medical students at the University of Michigan propped a headless corpse against the building's front doors. In 1907, a group of Indiana boys knocked on someone's door and shoved a jack-o'-lantern in a woman's face, and she died of a heart attack. In 1918, 9 Kansas City youths waxed the tracks of an uphill streetcar, causing multiple vehicle crash and serious injuries. And in 1924, pranksters caused a fatal crash of 2 motorcycle cops in Chicago, while boys in Riverside cut the power to an entire town. The Cook County Herald advised readers to load their muskets with rock salt or birdshot to pepper trespassers good and proper.
How can you pepper them with salt?
Then the Great Depression struck, and Halloween became utter mayhem. Gangs of boys flipped cars and sawed down telephone poles. It was so bad it was dubbed Black Halloween, and some cities wanted to ban Halloween outright. What they did instead was invent haunted houses and build trails of terror, and they bribed youths to attend with the promise of free candy. On the East Coast and Midwest, pranks were shifted to October 30th, Mischief Night.
I'll march this road, I'll climb this hill, upon my knees if I have to.
All right, my candy is blue raspberry Zots.
More Zots?
And my topic, Sci-Fi Corner, Body Melt. You are offered a revolutionary new diet pill. It will melt off the pounds, and you can eat whatever you want without ever having to exercise. But if you ever fall below your daily caloric needs, it will begin cannibalizing your body. Would you take it?
Are you ripped, though, or are you shredded?
Yeah, totally sure.
That's going to be really hard on like days you have hangovers and stuff, and you just don't have any appetite, or if you have like a cold, you'd have to like force feed yourself, and you'd be like puking and stuff, so you'd be losing calories.
This is America. I mean, there's lots of calorie-dense food, like a banana nut muffin is 600 calories.
Oh yeah, you could just go to Starbucks, I guess.
Have a banana nut muffin and a double quarter pounder with cheese, and you're like, I'm good for the day. Goregasm. What are some of the earliest scenes of gore that blew your mind?
I can tell you the exact first thing I ever saw. It was the goriest thing I ever saw in a movie, and I freaked the fuck out when I saw it. And it was Missing in Action, Part 2, Braddock. And they brought this dude out, and they put a pistol to his head, and they shot him in the temple, and the side of his head blew out. And I was like, what the fuck?
I remember my sister brought home a VHS copy of Deadly Friend. It's a great movie. We should watch it. But at one point, Mama Fratelli plays the evil neighbor. Owen! And someone with superhuman strength chucks a basketball at her head and just explodes explodes it. And then the body kind of like runs around like a decapitated chicken. And I just was rewinding it over and over. I was like, I just couldn't understand how they did that gag.
I was in elementary school, and this wasn't a horror movie. This was a documentary called RoboCop. And the scene with Ed 209, when I just kind of like saw the insides of dude's chest, because it was like...
When he gets shot up, too, it makes that like sound. You can hear the bullets hitting. I'm like, oh.
And the exploding Toxic Man, too.
I wasn't exactly old enough to see that at the time.
Mine comes with an anecdote that you may all have heard before, but what the heck. So, as you may recall, if you were alive in the early to mid 80s, if a movie wasn't out on rental yet, which it didn't come out for like years and years, there's no way to see it. So I'd seen Star Wars on HBO, I'd seen Return of the Jedi in the theater, never seen Empire Strikes Back. It's like the mission of my life to see it. So there's like a summer camp at a local park, and they say, okay, we're getting a film reel of Empire Strikes Back. Me and my brother get all excited, we go. They say, oh, well, we couldn't get it, actually. But we got a different movie. They got Wrath of Khan. I'm expecting, Star Wars, okay, there's evil, but it's very clean, it's not gory. And then I see this freaking worm with the blood crawling out of the guy's ear.
Yeah.
And that, still to this day, one of the only things, besides the guy in RoboCop getting shot, is one of the only things I've seen in a movie that kind of disturbed me.
Mine is twofold, both in also elementary school, and these movies were just on television. The first one was Troll, when the troll puts the ring on the guy and he bursts into plants
Sonny
and stuff.
Bono, and he turns into that cucumber. That was pretty terrifying.
I'm sure I ran out of the room. Go, Mom! That really freaked me out. And then the other one was the 80s remake of Cat People, when Ed Begley Jr. gets his arm torn off by the panther, and it shows, like, at least in my memory, it shows tendons and everything tearing away, and his blood runs across the entire white tile floor. That was another, Mom! Yeah.
I never saw Cat People.
Cat People.
Exorcist, and I might have told this story before.
Sure did.
I did, yeah. Yeah, okay, I won't tell it again. Fuck you guys.
The candy I have pulled is Popeye something. I thought it was going to be Nerds. Popeye Tasty Candy Sticks. I imagine these are like candy cigarettes.
Little candy cigarettes.
The topic is quiz.
Fight or fright? Which of these obscure monsters would you rather meet? Ryan, I'll start with you, and we'll go around. Popobawa or Tikbalang?
I choose Popobawa.
Wrong answer.
Popobawa, the flying ogre that rapes men at night.
Yeah.
Yes! I chose wisely.
You don't want that.
The Tikbalang is a gangly werehorse. It's the spirit of an aborted fetus that hangs out in the forest, smokes cigars, and slaps the shit out of people.
Yeah, I definitely chose right.
Would you rather be raped than slapped by a horse?
Depends on how gentle a lover the
No,
Not at
Popobawa
all.
is.
Not at all.
Ryan Moore, would you rather meet the Akamanto or the Snallygaster?
I'm going to say the Snallygaster.
Yeah, that sounds like a Dr. Seuss monster.
The Snallygaster is a cryptid from Maryland. It's a reptilian bird monster. The Akamanto is a yokai that haunts public bathrooms in Japan. It will ask you if you want red or blue toilet paper. And no matter what you choose, you die. So you must refuse. And if you say yellow, it will shove your head into the toilet. Drew, would you rather meet a sulak or a squonk?
Squonk.
No, that masturbates you.
Again, yes.
A squonk is a fearsome critter, an animal which, saddened by its deformed countenance, cries incessantly and even dissolves into tears if seen. The sulak is the Babylonian lurker of the bathroom. If you strain too hard on the toilet, the sulak will cause you to have a stroke. Okay, Ed, would you rather face an Akaname or Hanako-san?
Hanako-san is a toilet monster, a toilet ghost. I think he grants wishes or something, doesn't he? I'm going to go with Hanako-san, because my daughter's reading that manga.
Hanako-san is a vengeful spirit of a schoolgirl that drags people to hell through the toilet.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
Akaname is a yokai with a long tongue that licks dirty toilets. Elliot, would you rather meet the Bannock or the Shidime?
The Bannock.
Bannock is a Slavic naked old man that haunts the bathroom, and if he is not appeased, he will burn it down. The shirime from Japan is a faceless man that accosts travelers by stripping nude, bending over, and spreading its butt cheeks to reveal the glaring eye in its anus.
Can I change my answer?
No.
Candy buttons. Terror versus Spoopy. Should horror be safe and gentle for young audiences?
There should definitely be some child-friendly horror.
It should be both.
Otherwise, what would I watch all October?
Right, all your whole life.
I
Bags
do
that spew
wonder
slime.
if you're raised on really, really safe horror, if you're just going to want everything to be PG-13. You do cross a threshold, as we talked about, as a kid, when you witness these like fucked up traumatic things. Like, you seriously grapple with it.
Yeah.
And it changes you.
As you grow, your media can grow with you.
Feel like I want to go home. What do I feel? What do I know?
I have pulled an Abba Zabba. Franken food for thought. Is Frankenstein's monster a zombie?
He's a flesh golem.
What did Dr. Frankenstein
He said
say?
it's alive, but
It's alive.
But are we to take his word for it?
Yes, because he's a doctor. Are you a fucking doctor?
No, you got me there.
He's only a medical student in the book. He's only a student. He never becomes
That's right.
a doctor.
He's not a doctor. Fuck you, Elliot. So Elliot is on team alive.
Because in the book, isn't he like alive and intellectual?
He's
and
intellectual.
conflicted, and
he's a completely new soul. He doesn't have memories of being what he was and stuff. Frankenstein's monster has no mindlessness to him. He's not like undead creatures are kind of mindlessly driven to some compulsion. Even a vampire needs blood to survive and everything. Frankenstein's monster has no compulsion except to breed, to create a new one. He's alive. He wants to breed with another version of a thing like him and recreate, you know.
that's what he wants.
Yeah, he wants a bride, yeah.
That's a toughie, Jeffenstein.
But I still believe. Yes, I still believe. Through the shame, through the grief.
The sinister bag has spilled its secrets once more. It slithers with contented quivers back beyond the veil. But what's this glistening in the slime trail? Original stories born on Halloween. Stay tuned for part 2 of the We Bleed Orange and Black 2022 Halloween Spooktacular.